I was so pleased to see that Wes Craven's New Nightmare had a rating of 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a really pretty good rating because I love this film. Obviously, with the previous film, I don't want to say too much in case you haven't seen any of the other Elm Street films, but what I will say is watch the other 6 before you watch this one, but certainly watch the first one before you watch this. But with the 6th one, kind of implied that was the end of Krueger. 3 years later, in 1994, there's a loophole. There's a way that he may be able to come back. This is obviously written and directed by Wes Craven and stars Robert Englund and Heather Langenkamp as herself. Robert Englund also stars as himself. And this is very much a self-aware film about Elm Street. So they're actually celebrating the 10th anniversary of the first Nightmare on Elm Street film. And Wes Craven, who plays himself, is writing another Elm Street film. And then it turns out that Heather Langenkamp, who actually played Nancy in the films, begins to hear strange things that kind of imply Freddy might be back. But is he? Is it possible? Is it Freddy? Has he become embroiled in the real world? Is he unstoppable? Honestly, I love how self-aware this is. I love the references. I feel like this is a film made for the fans of Elm Street to get excited about it, to watch the creators getting excited about this colossal success that they made that started 10 years ago, and really just to bow down to Wes Craven and say thank you so much for this, because Krueger is incredible. It's brilliant watching Wes Craven in this and watching Robert Englund as himself, and I just think the element of suspense is brilliant. I really do not want to say much more than that, because it is quite fabulous and full of surprise and full of suspense. I feel like it's not as serious as the other films. Not that it's not as scary or that it isn't as well done, but I feel like because of that element of being self-aware and it being about a film within a film, it could be considered a bit more cheesy and gimmicky, but actually it's very well executed, very well done, very atmospheric and full of fear. I think it's a fantastic creation. I kind of get the impression that after the 6th film, Wes Craven kind of went, I don't want to let this go yet. How can we do this? And honestly, if that was the case and this is what they came up with, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. What makes it extra scary is that there will be people who were celebrating the 10th anniversary and this could have happened. You know, the situation seems like it could happen in, an alternate universe perhaps, but, the scenarios are quite realistic and quite likely. Krueger's amazing. Obviously, we are at the end of the journey here, and I'm quite upset now. I have previously discussed the remake from 2010. In fact, that was the first ever horror film I discussed on this channel, and one of the first films to truly get me into horror. So now I can't just whinge on about how much I miss it. I'm just going to have to go back and watch them all from the beginning. If you have a favourite Freddy Krueger film, let me know. If you haven't seen them all yet, definitely give them a chance. Even if it's just to get through to this one, because it's fabulous. It really is great fun. But even though it's a lot more fun and celebratory, it doesn't lose any of the magic from the other 6 films that make them so compelling. If you're a fan of Krueger, this film is for you. It's absolutely flawless.